Child displacement. About 4.8 million Ukrainian children have fled their homes in the 6 weeks since Russia's invasion, and at least 142 have died, the UN Children's Agency said. Manuel Fontaine, UNICEF's emergency operations chief, said having almost two-thirds of Ukraine's children displaced by the war was quite incredible and something he had never seen happen so quickly in 31 years of humanitarian work. They have been forced to leave everything behind: their homes, their schools, and often their family members, Mr. Fontaine told the UN Security Council after visiting Ukraine. Putin warning. President Vladimir Putin warned the West attempts to isolate Moscow would fail, citing the success of the Soviet space program as evidence Russia could achieve spectacular leaps forward in tough conditions. Russia says it will never again depend on the West after being hit by crippling sanctions imposed by the US and its allies. 61 years to the day since the Soviet Union's Yuri Gagarin blasted off into the history books by becoming the first man in space, Mr. Putin traveled to the Vostochny Cosmodrome in Russia's Far East, 5,550 kilometers east of Moscow. The sanctions were total. The isolation was complete, but the Soviet Union was still first in space, he said, according to Russian state television. We don't intend to be isolated, Mr. Putin said. It is impossible to severely isolate anyone in the modern world, especially such a vast country as Russia. Mariupol denouement. The battle for Mariupol, where the regional governor said tens of thousands may have been killed, appeared to be reaching a decisive phase, with Ukrainian Marines holed up in the Azovstal industrial district. Should the Russians seize Azovstal, they would be in full control of Mariupol, the linchpin between Russian-held areas to the west and east. The city has already been laid waste by weeks of Russian bombardments. Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar said the government was checking unverified information that Russia may have used chemical weapons while besieging Mariupol. There is a theory that these could be phosphorus munitions, Ms. Maliar said in televised comments. President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Monday night that Russia could resort to chemical weapons as it massed troops in the eastern Donbass region for a new assault on Mariupol. He did not say if they actually had been used. Heritage erasure. With more than 160 historical sites in Ukraine having already sustained damage, the UN's cultural agency stressed the importance of protecting the world's heritage during times of conflict. In the city of Kharkiv, at least 30 heritage buildings have been destroyed or seriously damaged, UNESCO said. The cities of Chernihiv and Odessa, inscribed on Ukraine's World Heritage tentative list, are also hit by the bombardments. The Mariupol theater was devastated. We also know that 25 paintings by the famous Ukrainian painter Maria Primachenko disappeared in a fire. Humanitarian opening. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk said 9 humanitarian corridors had been agreed to help civilians get to safety. They included from the besieged city of Mariupol, although civilians will have to use private cars. Ms. Vereshchuk said 5 of the 9 corridors were from Ukraine's Luhansk region in the east of the country, which Ukrainian officials have said is under heavy shelling.